Gaze reading where the greats drop by. Trendy authors tell us all the who, what, and why. Anyone can listen, cause we're spoiler free. Gaze reading, from Pulitzer stars to book club picks, where the curious minds can get their fix. So you say you're not gay, well that's okay. There's something for everyone. Gaze reading.
Hello, welcome to Gaze Reading, What's the Tea? I'm your host, Jason Blitman, and on today's episode, I have some tea with author Abdi Nazemian talking to me about his new book, Desert Echoes. Our new series, What's the Tea? Is authors talking to us about their books, describing their book in 3 words, using the letters T, E, and A. It's been super fun so far, and thank you for being on this journey. If you like what you're hearing, share us with your friends and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And all of that is greatly appreciated. It gets us on more people's radar. Make sure you're following Gaze Reading on Instagram @Gaze Reading. We have a giveaway for Desert Echoes happening right now for the next few days, so make sure to check that out. And I have to say, if you ever are looking for a teacup, say on your podcast that you don't have a cute teacup. I'm so grateful to some dear friends, Lauren, Ashley, Megan, who have all sent really beautiful teacups my way so that I can have fantastic teacups and essentially props for my tea time with these authors. So thank you for being here. And here is my What's the Tea with Abdi. Do you have a tea?
I do. That is the theme, right?
It is. It's so funny because I don't have a cup of tea. However, on the first episode of this, I complained that I don't have a nice teacup. And
Oh, no.
2 of my best friends sent me a gift that literally arrived 15 minutes ago.
And it's a cute teacup?
It's a Jonathan Adler teacup.
Oh, God. That's much cuter than mine. I don't know what. Mine says creative fundraising advisors. They are. I have much better teacups, but for some reason I picked this one.
Listen, it's cute. It looks like it was handmade.
It does. I know.
This one was made in Portugal and was probably very expensive. But Jonathan Adler was my first guest gay reader on the show.
No way.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so it's both it's an homage to my first guest gay reader and to tea time. So
tea time.
Anyway, it hasn't been washed yet. I literally just got it. And so it's just a prop for right now.
I love it.
Abdi, how are you today?
I'm great.
Yeah. I love your big fiddle leaf behind you.
Oh, that's a hat. No, I'm kidding.
Where did you get it? I need it.
Hat.
It would be an amazing hat.
My husband got that fiddle leaf, and it's very healthy, which is a miracle.
This is my hot tip for the day.
Yeah.
You know who has fantastic plants? IKEA.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. They're live.
Wow.
And they also have fake plants. So I think most people think they're fake plants, but they have a real living plant section. And I got a couple of fiddle leaves from them, and they were like $20. And they're expensive plants.
Are they? See, I wouldn't even know. Now I'm married to someone who really likes to do all the house stuff. He's very into home decor and all that stuff. So I haven't thought about buying furniture or plants or anything like that. I just love that he does it, and everything looks beautiful.
You don't have to worry about it.
And I write books.
Perfect. And you write books, including
It's a school. Yes.
Desert Echoes.
Yes, the Desert Echoes, the desert where we met.
The desert where we met. I know.
I think a fun thing I haven't shared about the cover for Desert Echoes is that when I first got the art for it, I sent my editor an email freaking out with delighted glee that the faces, there's 3 figures in it and they have no facial features. And I was like, it's so cool. It's so mysterious. It's so like ghostly. It speaks to the themes of the book. And then I immediately get an email back and it's, oh, this is a work in progress. They're going to add faces.
It's not done.
And then, but actually my reaction inspired them to keep it as is. And so they left it the way it was, which is unfinished and mysterious and odd. And I think it really captures the spirit of the book and is just unsettling.
Mm-hmm.
So the main character has one eyebrow and nothing else.
Mhm.
It's really cool to me.
I
So
think when there are specific images of people on covers, I think it is almost unfair and it's unfair to the reader and a disservice to the author, because let us use our imagination. And so
yes,
when there's a little bit of guidance for our imagination and yet nothing
yeah,
fully fleshed
that
out,
is. Oh,
we get to
it's true.
fill in the blanks.
The artists often ask for like comps. They're always like, "What actors do you imagine in these roles? Send us comps before we make the art." And I'm always like, "There really are no actors for all these Iranian roles. Here's a picture of me when I was 17. Dad when he was 17."
Hashtag the problem. Why we're
Exactly.
here. All right, Abdi, what's the tea? Tell me about Desert Echoes.
The T is Desert Echoes is my sixth novel,
Uh-huh.
my fifth YA novel. I'm very committed to writing YA, very queer, very Iranian, very hopefully ambitious YA that lots of adults love too. And this one is about Cam, who's an LA-based teenager, and it takes place in two different time periods, his freshman year and his junior year. His freshman year, he falls madly in love with this mysterious new student named Ash, who's an artist who loves to disappear into the desert. And they take a trip to Joshua Tree together with Ash's family. And on that trip, Ash disappears. And in his junior year, Cam's been grieving for 2 years. There are still no answers to what happened to Ash. No one knows what happened. And Cam's dealing with a lot of guilt, grief, shame that he may have had something to do with it. And he takes a school trip back with his best friend to Joshua Tree. And there he's faced with all the memories and the healing begins.
Do you have 3 words to describe your book or no?
I was told the 3 words have to begin with T, E, and A.
Do you have them?
I thought of them and now I feel like I forgot them. But yeah, I'll think of them again.
I have 3 that I would put on you.
I've got
I want to hear
oh,
yours.
mine, I was going to say for T, I was going to say teen, maybe teen
Oh,
angst, if
uh-huh,
that's allowed to be a word.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it is obviously YA. It's about being a teen. It's about that feeling of first love. It's about
Mhm.
angst of first love and also first grief, whether grief looks like a breakup, death, but that first broken heart. So I think just that word teen angst was my T.
Love.
My E was, oh, this is so silly, but my E was just going to be everything, because really so
Oh.
much of this book is about, it was inspired by me going to Joshua Tree when it was the first summer my kids went to sleepaway camp and I felt very lonely. And it was also the summer that the Supreme Court started to go real conservative and start taking rights in alarming ways. And I went to the desert on July 4th weekend, which was actually a very empty time to go, especially since it was a heat wave. So it was like 110 degrees. And the whole book came to me in this wave of, I suppose, like inspiration, the muse, some kind of spiritual awakening. And I think a lot of the book is about like expansiveness, about living in the questions, about opening yourself up to not knowing everything, to spirituality. And I think we live in a very like a world that wants every question answered these days, like a world where everyone thinks that they can hold all the knowledge of the world in the palm of their hand. But really what interests me is like how beautiful it is not to know and to let go a little.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was talking to an author recently about just binary thinking and how things live in a binary world, because in that way there's the possibility of being right because you're right or wrong. And if there is an answer, then you can be right. So I think people want answers because
people want answers. Yes, people want binary thinking.
Yeah.
People definitely want to be right.
Mhm.
And this book, a lot of it is about, there was a quote by Rilke that really inspired me from Letters to a Young Poet, where I'll misquote it, but he basically says, we can never have the answers. What we have to do is live the questions and love the questions. And maybe through doing that, we grow into the answers. But to me, that's such a useful quote as we live in this world, and to really love the thing is to love the questions and to love the path. And it's so important. We can't be so result oriented.
Yeah. It's funny. I'm not a religious person at all, but I think that a lot of religion stems from questions that are either unanswerable or not answered. That's the point. And I feel like we've lost that.
I'm not at all. I don't belong to an organized religion, but a lot of this book was inspired by me going to Al-Anon. It deals with themes of addiction as well. In the book, Cam has a father who's an addict, and he starts to recognize his own patterns. And I resisted Al-Anon for a long time, I think, because of the higher power piece and the God. It's such a big part of all 12-step programs. And once I had this kind of awakening and let go, I came to realize how unhealthy it was for me to try and control everything and to not have faith in a higher power. And I think it's something that as a queer community, we need to talk about more, because I think a lot of us feel traumatized by what religions have done to us. But in the absence of them, we lose our spiritual core and we seek to control everything and we slowly destroy ourselves in the process. So, we have to find a new way of talking about these things.
What's your A?
My A was just going to be my name, Abdi.
There are so many A's.
It's the ultimate A. But look, like,
it could also be Ash.
Oh, it could be Ash, of course, one of the characters in the book. Only I said that because obviously all my books are very personal. This one is very personal. It's not about me, but it is inspired by my first boyfriend, the relationship I had with him, the grief I felt when he died, the feelings of guilt I felt over the fact that my life was going in this beautiful direction and how could he be gone and I'd be thriving, that survivor's guilt that so many people who know grief know all too well. So yeah, I mean, I poured myself into it. So that's my A and I stand by it.
I love it. All three of my letters have come up in this conversation so far. So mine were trauma, echoes, and addiction.
Ooh, yeah, yours better.
No, that's a... No, yours are great too. It's not a competition.
Trauma. See, you're right. It's not a competition.
No, it's not.
Trauma. Echoes. Yeah.
Okay. I have another important question that's completely unrelated. If the book was called Dessert Echoes, what would it be about?
Oh my God. It's actually funny because the character of Bodhi, who's Cam's best friend, and he's in the triangle of the book, the other important character is an aspiring chef who's always talking about food reality shows. So I feel like Dessert Echoes is really
Bodhi's book.
I have so many desserts of choice, but my true dessert of choice is ice cream. And if I were for this book, I would serve. Oh yeah, ice cream all the way. Ice cream over everything. Plus maybe a scone, but I consider a scone like breakfast, not dessert.
Which is hilarious. No, you're right. You're totally right. And but it's also dessert. Like a muffin is cake.
Yes, it's both. Yeah, a muffin is basically cake.
Right.
But no, I would pick Persian ice cream, which is the best. It's got like saffron and rose and pistachio. It's very fragrant. Oh God, see, I can't even tell. When I say the word very now, I just hear that very demure, very mindful thing, and it's driving me. I can't even say the word very anymore without
good
feeling
for her.
I mean, good for her, except for the fact that everyone around me, actually, I think our son has stopped now, but for a long time after that, he said that 20 times a day. And I'm like, oh my God, I just hear it in my head nonstop.
These things are blips though. They really are. Like you look at something like Pokemon Go, it was around for 8 minutes. It was like everyone was doing it and then it was gone.
Yeah. And then people started to disappear into oceans and deserts and bang into walls because they were following their Pokemon.
Right.
But that could be what this book is about. Ash is found playing Pokemon Go.
Oh my God, wait, isn't that the guy's name in Pokemon? Ash?
Oh,
I think it is.
Is it?
I think that's the main character's name in Pokemon.
Wow.
Oh, how weird. That's funny.
Word Echoes cracks me up. That is really funny. What's your dessert?
And
do you have a dessert?
I am a cookie guy. Give me a chocolate chip cookie.
I don't like cookies. I reject almost all cookies.
My issue with ice cream is today, in this day and age, they serve you like a softball size. No matter where you go. There's no small amount of ice cream that's served to you.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, certainly if you go to like other countries, they're still smaller.
Yes. Here around the corner, anywhere I were to go get ice cream, I'm just like, I don't want this much ice cream.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, I choose ice cream over everything. Yeah, cookies. There's some cookies I like, but in general, very low on my list.
Interesting. Okay.
Very low.
So if we were in the story Dessert Echoes together, we wouldn't be competing for the same dessert.
No, not at all.
So we can do it together. If it was like a competition. If that was a competition and we were in like a Big Brother style.
That would be really fun. But I feel like a lot of the book could still stay. It would be about Bodhi. It could still have lots of Lana Del Rey references. Ways that would just be maybe different ones. She sings about soft ice cream and Salvatore. I'd quote that left and right.
100%. So speaking of Lana Del Rey, she might as well be a character in the book. You have, did you see what you just did?
I slurped my tea.
And you went like this.
I know I do that.
You literally put your pinky up. I was like, that.
I'm like, I have a little bit of Maggie Smith in me. I'm a dame.
It was just, it was perfect. It was a perfect.
Have you seen Tea with the Dames?
Have it? No, you know what? It's like sitting in my queue as want to watch.
Must see Tea with the Dames.
Yeah. Okay. What I was going to ask you is you clearly, there it is. You clearly have such deep admiration for your pop queens and pop icons.
This one's Lana. I'm working on a book that's very Donna Summer infused at the moment.
Yeah. Does it take place during summer?
No, but
it's about to.
Your brain works. I thought you were going to ask if it takes place in the 70s. Like the desert, Donna Summer. I didn't even think about that.
So stupid.
No. I love it. Yeah. Look, music is so important to me. Art is so important to me. Growing up as a kid who really didn't fit into my environment, I felt like the escape that the arts gave me, the empowerment, really meant a lot. And I do infuse it into a lot of my books. And also, like, this book was very inspired by my first romantic relationship. And my first boyfriend, I really bonded over Tori Amos. And that was one of the things that really brought us together. And that really, like, vulnerable connection that music helps people make in a fast time. Like when someone loves an artist as much as you, and it gives you this common language to discuss your vulnerabilities and dreams and fears. And I wanted to put that in there. And I think for this generation, and certainly for me, like, Lana is that artist right now. And I really felt like the characters of Cam and Ash, like, they meet in their high school choir when they both write down the same relatively obscure Lana song as a request for the choir to sing. And I just felt like a teenager seeing another teenager put that song down would immediately feel like, I have to know you. Who are you? And I just love that. I love exploring what art means to characters. Music makes the people come together. Also, have you seen the bourgeoisie and the rebel come together? I ask you that.
You're right. Music, it makes the world go round, as we all learn in elementary school. Everyone go get your copy of Desert Echoes. It's out now. And depending on when you're listening to this, if you're listening to it around the time this episode is coming out, you can go to the Gaze Reading Instagram page, and we're doing a giveaway. We're hosting a giveaway.
Oh, yay. Thank you.
So head on over at Gaze Reading. Abdi, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me for tea.
Thank you for having me. I actually am drinking tea. It's ginger tea. It's very good.
Is it? It's good for your health too.
It's good for your health. I'd rather have it with a scone and maybe with Maggie Smith and Judi Dench next to me, but they're not here.
Next time.
Next time. That's the
that is the tea. Oh my God, it's so stupid. So happy to see you.
Yeah. So good to see you. This was fun.
Abdi, thank you so much for being here. Everyone, go check out Desert Echoes. And again, go follow Gaze Reading on Instagram at Gaze Reading, because we have a giveaway for Desert Echoes happening right now that you don't want to miss. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, everyone. Bye. See you next week.